Well, when the show returns, Monroe and his son are put in quite a not fun situation. What can you tease about their cage fight?
Well, it's pretty nasty. Most of the things that Monroe does tends to be a little nasty, unfortunately. But I think one of the biggest spoilers is the fact that I'm still here talking about it. So maybe there's something in that. But look, I think in Connor, Monroe sees a lot of himself. He sees a lot of missed opportunity in terms of his own character, where he came from, what he went through, the loneliness that he experiences. And I think in Connor, he sees his own legacy, and that kind of comes across in a lot of things that he says to him. And as a result, he is willing, as long as he knows that flame has been passed to Connor, he's willing to bow out because the Monroe name lives on. And I think that outside of this kind of a lot of people have suggested might be a megalomaniacal quest for power, I think at the end of it, there is a kind of very lonely, who am I and what am I in regards to this world, and what am I leaving behind in a character like Monroe. And I think Connor represents that. No, I think that fight represents that as well. If that answers your question. I think that Matt plays Connor so well that you can see it constantly churning in the back of every scene. I think that as we get to know him, and as the scripts come in and the writers start changing it, I think that you'll start to see a real pull in that character. I have my own somewhat more set feelings about that relationship as Monroe, whereas Matt is being, or Connor is being pulled by Charlie, by what is right, by his own background. I think there's a really fascinating, look, I was speaking in terms of character, I think there's a really fascinating concept of Monroe having, I'm not sure what they are, but there's something in Charlie that he sees. Now, how do I say this delicately? I think that there is an element of jealousy there, and the jealousy comes not only in regards to Charlie, but also in regards to his son being able to do that, to give himself over to someone, to be loved and to love. And I think that in terms of where does that line come from in him, I think that maybe it comes from a point of jealousy, but overall it comes from a place of, I want you to feel 100% and wholly in love, because Monroe has never felt it. And I don't think that he would ever feel it with Charlie, given her relationship with Miles, with Rachel, with everything. He just won't be accepted into that group. And I think that in the paternal sense, he's saying, mate, go and find something that I never had. And don't find it in her.
Is Monroe capable of that kind of love?
I'd like to think that anyone is. And I think that, like, in playing any character, you have to assume that they are, but it's just how hard you have to dig in order to find it. And I think that in Monroe it would take not only a massive leap of faith and a bridge in him, but also in someone else. So he would only be able to love someone as much as they are prepared to love him. And when you're the former dictator of a megalomaniacal regime such as the Monroe Republic, it would be very difficult for anyone to say, like, let's go on a couple of dates and see where this is going to go. So is Monroe capable of feeling it? Yes, but only so much as someone else is capable of giving it.
Is there anyone in the group that he gets along with particularly surprisingly well?
The writers won't let him. Like, I think that he enjoys Aaron in a really weird way, because Aaron can light shit on fire with his mind, and I think that there is an element of like, dude, what is that? That's amazing. But he's always pushing him away. Connor, obviously, and I think that there is a deep respect for Charlie, but he'll never let it show. It's like you're doing it. You're all right, kid. And even Miles starts to let him in. And look, I think that deep down he has these old relationships, 15 years or more. In fact, you know, many more with these people like Rachel and Miles and stuff. That there's a comfortability with those characters, even though there's also this abrasive quality. It's kind of like that shitty uncle that comes to Christmas every time and will sit there and ruin the party, but you kind of go like, but he's kind of funny. You know what I mean? I think that he's that guy.
Thank you.
Thank you
I don't
very
have any
much.
shitty uncles, but this is a